Good day, viewers. At the end of this video, we'll understand percentages, the definition of it, converting percentage to fractions, converting fractions to percentages, even word problems concerning percentages, conversion of units, maybe from centimeters to meters or from meters to centimeters, involving percentages, net and gross salaries. So if you miss this video or if you are not able to watch it to the end, you will miss something. Also, when you are watching this video, notice how percentage error occurs. So what is percentage? Percentage is a word which consists of three subwords: per, cent, and age. The per means division, which is the same as ratio or over. The division sign can be represented by over or slash, and it is accepted. So when we have 2 over 4, it is the same as 2 divided by 4. And the word cent is 1/100th of something. The word cent means 1/100th of something. So 100 years is 1 century. That is 100 years. The 100 is always below the division sign or always below the slash. So when we have any number over another number apart from 100, then it is not 100%. Any number over 100 must be expressed as a percentage. For instance, 20 over 100 is 20%. The 100, which is the denominator, is considered as the total of the numbers. It is considered as the total. Though there can be numbers which is greater than 100. There are many numbers greater than 100, but in percentage, it is per cent, over cent, or over 100. So 1/100th of something is the cent. Let's continue. In this case, we can say that the percentage of something is the thing, which can be a number, an amount of money, quantity of people, etc. out of 100. When we have 20 out of 100, it means that 20 over 100 times 100, which is 20%. So 20 out of 100 is 20%. The same applies to any number out of 100. Is that number over 100 times 100, which is the percentage of the same number. And this is the percentage sign. Consists of a division sign which looks like 1 and 2 zeros. And the 2 zeros can represent the 2 zeros of the 100. How is percentage expressed? We have our 20%. And it is expressed as 20 over 100. Which is the same as 2 over 10 when it's breaking down. And it is the same as 1/5 or 1 over 5, because 2 multiplied by 5 is 10. Or 2 can go into itself 1, it can go into 10 5 times. So 1 over 5. And 1 over 5 is the same as 20% as a fraction. 20% as a fraction. And we have our 90%, which is equal to 90 over 100. We can cancel out the 90 and the 100, and it will remain 9 over 10 as a fraction. This is also percentage expressed as a fraction. This expressed as fraction, and for the 90%, when expressed as a fraction, it can undergo further deduction to obtain a decimal place, or it can undergo further cancellation to obtain a decimal place. Let's check this out. We have our 90 over 100, which is the same as 90%. Therefore, 9 over 10 will be our fraction. But here in this case, since the 10 has only 1 0, we will run only 1 to have 1 decimal place, so it is 0.9. Fractions can be converted to percentages. Fractions can be converted to percentages. Any fraction multiplied by 100 is a percentage. 2 over 7 is a fraction. When multiplied by 100, it is 200% over 7, which is the same as 28.57%. Or when we have 3 over 5, which is a fraction, multiplying 100, we have 3 times 100, which is 300 over 5. Or we can cancel the 5 with the 100 to get 20. And 20 multiplied by 3 is 60%. Or we can just multiply through and divide. So 300 over 5 is equal to 60%. Word problems concerning percentages. When most students hear the word problems, their heart began to palpitate. It seems that this is one of the most difficult areas for some students. Please calm down. We are going to solve one example concerning word problems, and this is percentages, so please let's read it together and let's try to explain and break it down. A hotel manager rented his hotel for 10 cedis for a month. Annually is 120 cedis. He settled 20% of his payment on electricity during the year. He also settled 10% on management and spent 12 cedis on food and water. So the whole concept of this word problem is that the hotel manager rented his house for 10 cedis, and 10 times 12 is 120 cedis. Since we have 12 months in a year, the annual stands for 1 year. Some of his payment was settled on electrical bill, some was spent or settled on management, but it was in percentage, so we have to calculate for the amount. We have to calculate for the hotel manager's total expenses and to calculate for the percentage of rent he spent annually on food and water. That is for the B. The rent is equal to 120 cedis since he will pay 10 cedis for 12 months, and 10 cedis for 12 months is equal to 120 cedis, which is equal to a year. Or in other words, paying 10 cedis every month up to 12 months will be 120 cedis. Therefore, the electrical expenditure year is equal to 20% of his rent. 20% of his rent, the 20% is 20 over 100. The off is the multiplication sign, and the rent is 120 cedis. So 20% of his rent is 20 over 100 times 120, which is 24 cedis. And the expenditure on management, which is M, is equal to 10% of his rent. The 10% is 10 over 100. The off is the multiplication sign. The rent is the 120 cedis. So it will be 12 cedis. We can cancel out straightforward and work it. The expenses on food and water is equal to 12 cedis. We were asked to solve for the hotel manager's total expenses, which is the expenses on the electricity plus expenses on management plus expenses on food and water. So the electricity is represented by E, the management is represented by M, food and water is F and W. So 24 cedis plus 12 cedis plus 12 cedis is equal to 48 cedis. That is the hotel manager's total expenses. Solution B, percentage of food and water. The percentage of food and water equals the amount of food and water dividing the annual hotel's rent by 100%. So the amount of food and water was 12 cedis, dividing the annual hotel's rent, which is 120 cedis, by, which is multiplication, so by or multiply by 100%. So the 12 cedis will cancel the 120 cedis, and it will remain 1 over 10 times the 100%. The 1 will multiply the 100% and divide it by the 10, and 100% over 10 is 10%. So 10% is the answer for the percentage of food and water. So this was an example of word problems concerning percentages. One of the most important things to notice in word problems concerning percentage is the total percentage, which is 100%, the total amount, which is all the amounts being combined together or being concatenated. So this is certain terms used to express fraction. If a variable such as S and Y and N, which mostly represents certain number, or any test is a fraction of another variable or test. Let's say that S is a fraction of Y. When you say that a test or a variable S is a fraction of another test, which is Y, it means that S over Y. Any test as a fraction of the other is that test over the another test, like S over Y. This is a practical example. Now let's replace the test or the variables with numbers or values. So 20 is being expressed as a fraction of 80. It is 2 over 8 or 1 over 4 when it undergoes further cancellation. Expressing 14 as a fraction of 84 is 14 divided by 84, which is 1 over 6. Please, it's not advisable to convert it to decimals since we are doing fractions. The question said express this as a fraction of this. So it is a fraction. So we cannot change it to decimal since we are doing fractions. Expressing values with unit as percentage. Previously, before the start of this video, I said that we will know how to express values with units as percentage or how to convert units. Maybe the units might not be the same, so we have to convert it so that it will match the work. So let's convert 1500 centimeters to meters and solve the question. After that, we will convert 30 meters to centimeters and work that out. But please note, the answers will be the same, else it is wrong. We are converting 1500 centimeters to meters to match with the 30 meters so that we get a right answer. So let's start with it, converting 1500 centimeters to meters. I am 100% sure that most of us know how to convert from centimeters to meters. So in this case, we are converting 1500 centimeters to meters. It is 100 centimeters all over 1500 centimeters. Since 100 centimeters is equal to 1 meters. So the two zeros of the 100 will cancel the two zeros of the 1500 and the centimeters will also cancel out. Remaining 1 over 15 is equal to 1 meters. The 15 will cross the equal to sign to multiply with the 1 meters, which will be 50 meters. So there's an equal to sign, so we will do cross multiplication. So 50 meters as a percentage of 30 meters is equal to 15 over 30 meters times 100%. And it will be half times 100%, which is 50%. We are also converting 30 meters to centimeters to check whether we will get the same answer. The 1500 centimeters to meters, we got 50%. In this case, we must get 50% as an answer. If you don't get 50%, it is wrong. If 100 centimeters is equal to 1 meters, then 1 meters is also equal to 100 centimeters. 1 meters over 30 meters is equal to 1 over 30 since the meters will cancel out. And the 30 will go and multiply the 100 centimeters since there's an equal to sign. And we'll get 3000 centimeters. 1500 centimeters over 3000 centimeters times 100% is 15 over 30 times 100%. And 15 over 30 is half, or 1 over 2 times 100%, which is also equal to 50%. We got the same answer for both conversion. Now, we have verified the answer and it is 50%. This is another example concerning money or amount of money. And this is also in percentage. Let's read the question together. Kofi's net salary is 1,500.50 cedis and his gross salary is 1,800 cedis. What percentage of the net salary is the gross salary? What is a net salary? A net salary is gross salary minus deduction or minus total deductions. The deductions are the taxes. The taxes are deducted from the employee's salary. So the amount of money that the employee will take home is the net salary. The gross salary itself was the total salary without any deductions. It is the full salary of an employee without any deduction of tax and so forth. What percentage of the net salary is the gross salary? It is the net salary over gross salary multiplied by 100%. The net salary was 1,500.50 cedis because it was total deduction, and the gross salary was 1,800 cedis, which will multiply the 100%. For easy calculation, we can multiply the net salary by 10 and also multiply the gross salary by the same number, which is 10. So it will be 15,005 cedis all over 18,000 cedis multiplied by 100%. It can also undergo further deductions, and the remaining will be 3,001 all over 3,600 multiplied by 100%. We can cancel out. The 3,600 will cancel the 100, and it will remain with 3,001 all over 36. And the 3,001 will also multiply the 1% left. So it will be 3,001% all over 36. The CD sign cancelled out. Now, our remaining percentage will be 83.36%. 83.36%. we got the answer to be a percentage error. I will explain it. This situation normally occurs when a given value is approximated. The answer itself is 83.361111, or we were having 1/5, or the one repeated itself 5 times. The repeated one is like recurring decimals. Running it off, the one will be 0, and the answer was 83.36%, which is percentage error. In this situation, we have a land. The unit of measurement of land are mostly in acres or hectares. The size of the land depends on the unit. Therefore, it is the unit that affects the size of the land. The size can be small or big, depending on the unit. This is one of the crucial stages, but here we will not convert any unit. So let's read the question together. If Boaben has 60 acres of land and he gave 15 acres to miners, what is the percentage of the land remaining? At first, Mr. Boaben was having 60 acres of land, but he sold 15 to miners. So the size of the land is being decreased. The total land size was 60 acres. 60 acres minus 15 acres will be our remaining land. So land size 60 acres. Remaining land is 60 acres minus 15 acres, which is equal to 45 acres of land. We now know the remaining land. To find the percentage of the remaining land, it is the remaining land over the total land size, or multiplied by 100%. So we want to get the percentage of Boaben's land left. Remaining land over the total land multiplied by 100%. The remaining land is 45 acres over the total land, which is 60 acres. Now 45 over 60 multiplying 100%. 15 goes into 45 3 times. 15 goes into 60 4 times. 3 over 4 multiplying 100. 4 goes into 100 25 times. 25 multiplying 3 is 75%. Boaben's land left is 75%, and he sold 25% to the miners. There are 400 students at Nkwantanan LA Primary School, 180 of which are boys. What is the percentage of girls in the school? Still, this is also a word problem. The number of students were given to be 400. The number of boys in the school was given to be 180. In every school, when we talk about students, it consists of both boys and girls. To get the number of girls in the school, we just subtract the number of boys from the students. So subtracting 180 from 400 is 220, or 400 minus 180 is 220. Therefore, the number of girls is 220. The percentage of girls in the school is the total number of girls all over the total number of students in the school, and it will multiply 100%. 400 cancels 100%, and the remaining is 1% over 4. And we will multiply the 220 by the 1% to get 220% over 4. 4 goes into 220 55 times. The percentage of girls is 55%. To get the percentage of boys, we subtract 55% from 100%, and the remainder will be 45%. So there is 45% of boys too. We've already mentioned how percentage error occurs previously. Whenever there is a need to approximate a number, then there will definitely be a percentage error. Previously, we got 83.3611111%, but I approximated it leaving 83.36%, and the approximation isn't the actual number, but it comes close to the actual number. The actual number is also called the real or the original number. Whenever a number undergoes approximation, that number is being changed because we've changed the decimal place, we've run it off. That is how we get percentage errors. It is not that our answer is wrong. This case, we've just approximated numbers. That is when we get the nearest whole. This means that approximation is good since we can use that to find our nearest whole. Now we will look at how to solve for percentage errors. In our previous answer, it was already in percentage. We will just subtract the approximated percentage, which is 83.36% from the real percentage or the original percentage, which is 83.3611111%. Real percentage minus approximated percentage, or real percentage minus approximated percent. It is equal to 83.3611111% minus 83.36%. Please listen to this. This is one of the cheapest way of solving decimals or subtracting decimals. 83 minus 83 is 0. We write our 0, we bring our point. 3 minus 3 is 0, we write our 0. 6 minus 6 is 0. 1 minus 0 is 1. Here we will add our 1 since 1 minus 0 is the same as 1. The answer is 0.0011111%. That is our answer, which is percentage error. The error is very small, but it is considered as an error. Percentage error can be found directly by applying this formula. Percentage error is equal to error over real value multiplying 100%. Please keep this in mind. Here the error is not in percentage. The real value is also not in percentage. They will just multiply by the 100%. It is just a value. We will consider these two cases when solving for percentage error. This is case 1. This decimal value, which is 1.75, is approximated to 1.8. The real or the actual number is 1.75. To find the percentage error, we will use this formula. Percentage error is equal to 1.8, which is the approximated number or the approximated value, minus 1.75, which is the real number, all over the real or actual number, multiplying 100%. 1.8 minus 1.75 is 0.05, all over the real value, which is 1.75, multiplying 100%. We can multiply the 0.05 by 100, and also we can multiply the 1.75 by 100. We apply this formula to eliminate the decimal points, and to make the calculation more easier, it will be 1 over 35. 5 can cancel 175, 35 times, multiplying 100%. Hence, the percentage error will be 20% of 7. We use 5 to cancel the 100% and the 35 out. 5 goes into 100% 20 times. It goes into 35 7 times. If we reduce 20% over 7 to decimal, then we are expected to write the whole decimal figures for a gentle percentage error. The answer will be 2.85714285714%. It is long, but we must write all of these decimal places to avoid any problem. Now we've been able to find our percentage error, and that was the case 1. Please put this in memory. The approximated value minus the real value all over the real value multiplying 100%. That is the first case concerning percentage errors. And we are moving on to the second case. There are two different cases. This is the case 2. So we must consider this case 2. If 26.2 is round to the nearest whole, let's say it is approximated to 26.0, find the percentage error. In case 1, the approximated value was bigger than the real value, but here the real value is bigger than the approximated value. This case is slightly different from case 1. That's the difference. In this case, real or actual value, let's say the original value, minus the approximated value, all over the actual value, multiplying 100%. We did an example for case 1, and we must do the same for case 2. Let's try these examples. We remember that we are approximating 26.2 to 26.0 already. To find the percentage error, this case we want to find the percentage error. The formula will be the actual value minus approximated value all over 26.2, which is the raw value. In other words, the actual value minus approximated value over the actual value multiplying 100%. 26.2 minus 26.0 all over 26.2 multiplying 100%. It will be 0.2 over 26.2 multiplying 100%. We can multiply the 0.2 by 10 to get 2. This is another way of making the calculation easier and cheaper for us. 26.2 multiplying by 10 is 262. 2 goes into itself once, 2 goes into 262 131 times. 1 by 100% is 100%. So 100% over 131. That is our percentage error. 100% all over 131. Still, we will get a decimal place. If we reduce it to decimal, then we are expected to write the whole decimal figures for a gentle percentage error. We are finding for the percentage error. Therefore, we must write the whole percentage error for the correct answer. We cannot say that, oh, it is 0.76335877863. It is very, very long, so let me run it off. No, this is percentage error. Our percentage error is this answer. Now, we are done with the two cases. Hope we notice the difference between them, the difference between the percentage errors. We've learned how to convert percentages to fractions, percentage errors, net and gross salaries, unit conversions, and a whole lot.